everybody. This is Johnny Scrabble from ASAP, After School Activities Partnership. And today we're going to talk about scorekeeping and what's the importance of scorekeeping in Scrabble. Scorekeeping is so important in Scrabble because on the Scrabble board, there are premium squares and you have premium tiles in the bag. So what you have to do is try to put your premium tiles on a premium square so you could get twice or maybe 3 times as many points. In the tile bag, you have 100 tiles. You have the regular tiles with 1, 2, 3 points, 4 points at the most, but then you have these premium tiles, the Z, the Q, the J, the X, the K. These are the premium tiles. These are worth the more points. That's why the amount of them in the bag are only 1. 1 J, 1 Q, 1 X, 1 Z, and therefore you have to use these to the best of your ability, putting them on a board. I always save my Q, Z, or X if I don't have a spot for it until a spot becomes available where I could get 2 or 3 times the amount of the letter to put it on the board. It's all when we play in Scrabble, remember, whoever goes first, their name always go on the top of the left-hand side of the score sheet. That means if you got the closest letter to A out of the bag and you're first, your team's name or your solo name will go on the left-hand side. Your opponent's name will then go on the right-hand side. Now also, when you're keeping score, once you have your name down pat, now your first word, say it's man, M-A-N, and you have 10 points for man. You will put that in the first column. And over to the little side where you see the plus sign, you will put the amount. So man, you write man in there, you score 10 points, you go to and you write 10. Now your opponent is second. They put their name down, they put their score down, and the amount they have in their little box. Now, when you go again, you scored 10 points. Now, say you scored 12 points. You put your word down, you put the 12 under the 10, and then you add it up. 10 plus 12 equals 22. And you add this up all the way down to the end of the game. This stops from discrepancies in the score sheet. If there's a problem with the score, you can always find out if you keep score this way. Now, if you skipping scores and not putting the score down, that's going to be a disaster. So always remember to put your word down and put the score down as soon as after you put the word on the board. So on the Scrabble board, the most important is triple word score. Then you have double word score. You have a triple letter score and you have a double letter score. These are the most important squares where you could get the most points for your words. But remember, in scoring points, you also have to try to play defense to not let your opponent get the squares before you do. Okay, here's an example. On the board, you have dirty and you have ivory. Now, look at your board. You have a Q, 10 letters. Where would the best spot be to put your Q? I'm looking around, and I know that QI is a good word. So I'm going to look on the board, and I see an I in ivory, which my QI can go there, but I also see an I in dirty, but over top of the I is a double letter score. So I will get twice as many points for my Q there. So that's where I will place my Q over top of the I in dirty and get 21 points. All right, well, thanks again for joining me. And I hope you have fun. I hope you learned something. And join me again for my next episode of Johnny Does Scrabble.